Today we will review the 100 characters stele, but at the same time we will try to see this in terms of mandala. So, after we learn about 10 lives of the 100 characters, we know that the path of practice is going from duality into non-duality. That's the path. And we go through the stages that they're talking about. Actually, Lu Dongbin talks about. First, he said that we should take care of our emotional bad habits. And these bad habits are like the great angers and desires and fear and all that. We got to take care of them. Otherwise, deter us from the path. So the emotional bad habits, this really have to be conquered. So that's the first few lines. Then he talks about dualistic thinking. We need to return to the source of our thoughts, which is the non-dual. Okay, so this dualistic thinking is we always see rights and wrongs, and therefore when we respond to people, we always make judgment about good people and bad people. So so he advises us not to do that, but to be sincere, to be truthful, and to be reliable. And whatever we say it will hold. So this is the second trap we fall off because of our bad habits in terms of thinking. And then there is dualistic energy, and then we have seen this so much in the lines 7, 8, 9, and 10. Because it said that when the energy is settled, then the pill can be coagulated, can be crystallized. So the two energies have to come together, and in this place here, in the dantian here, that the kan and li, the fire and the water have to come together. So these are the dualistic energy. They have to come together, meaning they have to transform themselves into a different kind of energy that we call true energy, a genuine energy. And so this is another trap that you can see. Now further we can see that the primal dichotomy, the split, is a very, very deep split where the cell set itself up in the non-duality, but the very first kind of seeds are coming out from our consciousness and set up the subject and object. Now that is very hard to deal with, and we go through the whole process. We can see how they deal with this. And then there's many other the split us from realize the non-duality. Now, so when we practice this internal alchemy, transform ourselves, we have to always remember of the path of harmony, the path to bring the two energies together, the path to transform this energy, and so it can be easier. So in our daily life, we also need to notice about the duality, the dualism that we are engaged in. Take science, for example, or always have the very deep view about something that we cannot release ourselves from that view. Now, if you see the body as mandala, a place that we can practice and cultivate, the place where we can bring our mind together, that is much easier. So everything is very symbolic. Our thoughts, our emotion, all of this have a very symbolic meaning. Symbolic because in terms of non-duality, they are all equally relevant, but they just simply the two sides, the two opposites, the yin and yang. Okay, and so if you take a look at all things in our daily life, from eating, drinking, engaging with people, and everything, and we start to see how we deter from the non-dual consciousness. If we see that way, then it's very easy for us to move along the path of the 100 characters that's described. And therefore, what we are trying to say in this review here, is to try to, in my interpretation, try to see everything we do in a very symbolic way, understand the symbolism that everything presents to us. In that way, it's easy for us to get to open up our non-dual awareness, instead of get locked within this right and wrong, good and bad, and that is probably the most critical part of our practice. Seeing the unlimited within the limited. Now, let's go to the mandala that we have talked about a few days ago. The Indian mandala here, it's very interesting. The mandala here, they're talking about this square and the circle. The square representing the 5 elements, and it also represents the body, the feeling, the thought, the body, the feeling, the thoughts, the deep habits we have forming ourselves, and then the consciousness. But all of them are like the square, are locked up within the duality. The circles are non-duality, and to be able to focus ourselves so we can break through these layers and embracing the unlimited, the unbounded, the circles unbounded, then there is a path of cultivating a mandala. So when we practice, we want to be aware of the circle, and the circle means the non-dual, but at the same time, we want to be aware of the duality, that what locked us within. So if you look at this thing here, there is no gate going out. This square here itself, it's just blocked. And the circle itself is not a circle. The circle is boundless, it has no boundary. So the line here is made in order to help us to realize something's perfect. But it's not a circle itself, not a sphere even. It's a state that is boundless. So we're moving from bounded into the unbounded, from the limited into the unlimited. And that is very much the same path that we are seeing now with the practice of 100 characters. We're moving from the duality into non-dual. We're moving from what we call the limited to the unlimited.